Okay, Megan, come on out to the garage and I'll introduce you to Todd Richardson. He's the home builder.
Hello.
Hi there.
Todd's kind of the expert on all of the techniques we use for the building the house, so I'll leave you in his hands.
Great. Well, this is absolutely from the ground up. Can you explain to us what's going on?
You bet. So Jeff and I made this mock-up, and we thought, you know what, would be a great visual for us to meet with customers and kind of go over the things that they can't see that's behind the walls, and this mock-up achieves that for us. So what we've done is we've just started from the ground up with this representing our footing. We did a capillary break across the whole footing. Why that's important is that stops vertical drive of moisture to go up into your upper members of your concrete and then up into your house. I know Jeff talked to you also about the vertical insulation on the exterior of the home, which is represented by the yellow foam here. It's covered up on the concrete all the way down to the footing and all the way up to the roof. And it is attached to the backside of our zip wall. So the zip wall already has a membrane sprayed across the front of it. I don't know if you've ever noticed Tyvek on the outside of the wrap on the outside of the house. This allows you to eliminate that. That is a nice feature. We don't have all the flapping in the wind and all that. And the Zip has a nice flashing system that we're able to use on the seams, which stops any wind penetration and moisture penetration. So that's very nice. If we go around to the backside, it's pretty much just a traditional system from there. And then we're able to net and blow the 2x6 walls and do our normal insulation in there. But in combination, the two added together add to an R30. So that is very nice for us to achieve roughly around an extra 10 R value in our walls, and that's what we were trying to achieve with this. One other feature that I would like to point out is we did do a horizontal foam in the basement all throughout the entire basement, which is giving us some additional R value underneath the concrete floor as well.
Is that under this concrete as well?
We did it in the garage as well as an experiment because we wanted to make this garage a little bit more efficient. We actually added a mini split in the garage as well. So that was one thing we wanted to try an experiment with, was in the garage. One other thing I can point out on the mock-up is it was a challenge for us to protect this insulation. What were we going to do to make it so that it didn't get chipped, beat up? And we used a system that we found, and it was a sprayed on, almost concrete looking ephes stucco look. And we tested it with a weed whacker, to believe it or not, and it actually held up. So we wanted to protect this for the homeowners. We didn't want it we didn't want the yellow foam to stick out. We wanted to protect it. So, and you know, one thing too I want to talk about is some of the thermal bridging that this system helps prevent. So what I mean by that is you can see where this 2x6 stops, and we have an insulation portion in between the plywood and the 2x6. This insulation stops thermal bridging, and thermal bridging occurs when the 2x6 transfers, or the cold transfers all the way through the 2x6 to the interior of the home. And this insulation prevents that from happening.
Wow, with all of this construction, all of this science, Jeff, join me again. My big question for you is this home zero energy ready now? And if it's not, what have you guys done to get it to that point?
Well, the house was constructed with that in mind. The orientation of the roof, the square footage of the roof in that orientation. The solar company has been in contact with the electrician to make sure everything is in order so that can happen.
So really all this homeowner has to do is add a renewable energy source and they should be good to go?
Correct.
Wow. My last question for you, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that are interested in this, but cost is always a consideration. Can you do a little cost comparison for us? What's the price difference between a home with this construction and what we would consider a traditionally built home?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question there's an added cost. The Department of Energy has estimated that if we meet all of their rigid standards, the increased cost can be about 5 or 6%. But we've also had a final HERS rating done, which was 38, and that suggests the house is about 60% more efficient than a standard home. And if that's the case, the annual savings is approximately $2,700 a year. So, over the lifetime of the house, you easily recoup that cost.
Well, congratulations to you both. This is a fabulous house. Thanks for sharing it with us. If you're interested in zero energy ready homes and energy efficient construction, go to our website, powerhousetv.com. Did you know the Home Energy Rating Index is a score that shows how a home's energy consumption compares to a home built to the 2006 International Conservation Code? Any score lower than 100 indicates a home is more efficient than the standard home. For example, a score of 80 means the home is 20% more efficient than the code home. A score of 120 means the home is 20% less efficient. The lower the number, the better.